The critical first hour of your day. Think about the very moment your eyes open in the morning. The house is completely quiet. The first rays of soft sunlight are just beginning to peek through the curtains, and a brand new day lies ahead of you. It feels like the most peaceful, gentle moment of the day. But from a biological standpoint, the first 60 minutes after you wake up are actually the most demanding, high-stakes transition zone your body will experience all day long. During the night, your heart rate slows down, your blood pressure drops to its lowest levels, your spine expands as it absorbs fluid, and your blood naturally becomes thicker and more concentrated. When you wake up, your body has to work incredibly hard to reverse all of these processes and shift your internal systems from a state of deep rest to active movement. As we cross the beautiful milestone of 70, our blood vessels, joints, and nervous systems lose a bit of their youthful elasticity. They take just a little bit longer to adapt to these sudden changes. Because of this, certain morning habits that were completely harmless or even considered healthy when we were in our 30s or 40s can place a hidden, dangerous strain on an older body. Today, we're going to look at the 4 dangerous morning mistakes people over 70 frequently make without even realizing it, and the simple, gentle shifts you can make right now to protect your health, preserve your balance, and walk into every morning with absolute confidence. Mistake 1. The sudden sunrise spring orthostatic strain. The very first mistake happens before your feet even touch the floor. It is what medical professionals call the sudden sunrise spring, the act of throwing off the covers and immediately standing straight up the very second your eyes open. When you are lying flat in bed for 8 hours, your blood pools evenly across your torso and legs. The moment you stand up vertically, gravity immediately pulls that blood downward into your lower extremities. In a young body, specialized nerve sensors in the neck and heart instantly tell the blood vessels to constrict, pumping blood back up to the brain in a flash. But as we cross 70, those nerve sensors can experience a gentle lag. If you stand up too quickly, your blood pressure can drop off a sudden cliff, a condition known as orthostatic hypotension. This causes a split second of dizziness, blurred vision, or unsteadiness that is the number 1 cause of morning falls and fractures in the home. Let's look at the detailed story of Arthur, a fiercely independent 74-year-old retired postal worker from Ohio. Arthur prided himself on his military-like discipline. The moment his alarm buzzed at 6:30 a.m., he would leap out of bed to greet the day. But over the course of a few months, Arthur noticed a frightening pattern. As he stood up, he would feel a strange, hollow sensation in his head, and the bedroom walls would seem to tilt slightly. One morning, he lost his footing completely and had to catch himself on his nightstand, bruising his wrist. His doctor explained that his blood vessels just needed a moment to catch up to his ambition. The doctor gave him a simple rule, the 2-minute pause. Now, when Arthur wakes up, he sits on the edge of his mattress with his feet dangling for 2 full minutes, taking a few deep breaths and gently circling his ankles. By giving his blood pressure time to stabilize before standing, Arthur completely wiped out the dizziness. He stands up steady as a rock, protecting his independence from the very first step. Mistake 2. The dehydrated dawn, the thick blood trap. The second dangerous morning mistake is heading straight for a hot, steaming mug of coffee or tea before drinking a single drop of pure water. Think about what happens to your body during a long night of sleep. Over the course of 7 or 8 hours, you are constantly losing moisture through your breath and through sweat, even if you don't feel hot. You wake up in a state of natural, deep cellular dehydration. Because your body is low on fluids, your blood volume drops, making your blood thicker and stickier than usual. Clinical data shows that the early morning hours are the peak time for cardiovascular events, like strokes and heart attacks, precisely because of this thick morning blood. When you layer a strong cup of caffeinated coffee or black tea, both of which are natural diuretics, directly onto a dehydrated system, you cause your body to flush out even more fluids, making your blood vessels constrict and placing an unnecessary, heavy workload on your heart. Consider Margaret, a lovely 76-year-old grandmother from Surrey, England. Margaret lived for her morning routine. Waking up, walking straight to the kitchen kettle, and brewing a strong cup of English breakfast tea. She noticed that during the first hour of her day, she often felt a dull, nagging headache behind her eyes, and her mouth felt dry as paper. She assumed it was just a sign of aging. A cardiovascular nurse suggested that Margaret was caught in the dehydrated dawn trap. Margaret agreed to a simple, caring shift. She placed a beautiful glass of filtered water on her nightstand every single night. Now, before she even gets out of bed, or right as she walks into the kitchen, she drinks that full glass of room temperature water. This simple act immediately thins her blood, lowers her heart rate, wakes up her digestive tract, and hydrates her brain cells. Margaret still enjoys her morning tea, but she drinks it half an hour later with a hydrated body and a completely clear head. Mistake 3. The early morning forward bend, protecting your spine. The third mistake involves how we treat our backs and joints during the first 30 minutes of the day. Many seniors wake up feeling a bit stiff, and their natural instinct is to try to stretch out that stiffness by performing deep forward bends, leaning over to tie their shoes tightly, or bending completely at the waist to pick up the morning newspaper from the porch. This is incredibly dangerous for an older spine. When you sleep at night, the gelatinous discs that sit between your spinal vertebrae act like tiny sponges. They absorb the surrounding fluids and swell up to their maximum size. This fluid absorption is why we are actually a fraction of an inch taller in the morning. However, it also means that your spinal discs are tightly packed, pressurized, and highly vulnerable first thing in the morning. Bending deeply at the waist puts an immense, mechanical squeezing pressure on those fluid-filled discs, which can easily lead to a painful herniation, a pinched nerve, or severe lower back spasms. Think of Charles, a 72-year-old former school principal from Sydney, Australia. Charles loved his morning routine of walking down his long driveway to grab the daily paper. He would walk out, bend straight over from the waist with locked knees, to pick it up and head back inside. One crisp morning, as he bent down, a sharp, white-hot pain shot through his lower back, leaving him completely frozen in place and unable to stand back up without agonizing tears. He had severely strained his pressurized spinal discs. His physical therapist explained that the spine needs about an hour of upright, gentle movement to naturally shed that excess night fluid and safely handle deep bends. Charles changed his technique. He now keeps his spine perfectly straight and drops down into a gentle, supported knee bend to pick things up, and he saves his deep flexibility stretches for the afternoon when his joints are warm and compliant. By respecting the natural fluid cycles of his spine, Charles keeps his back completely pain-free and resilient. Mistake 4. The immediate dawn fast break, metabolic timing. The final morning mistake is forcing yourself to eat a heavy, substantial breakfast the very moment you wake up, simply because we were raised on the old rule that breakfast is the most important meal of the day. As we cross into our 70s, our metabolic and hormonal patterns experience a profound shift. In the early morning hours, your body naturally releases a healthy surge of cortisol, our internal alarm clock hormone, which floods your bloodstream with stored sugars to give you waking energy. Because of this natural sugar release, your blood glucose is already elevated first thing in the morning. Furthermore, an aging digestive tract produces fewer stomach acids and enzymes in the early hours, meaning your stomach is still in a resting state. If you force a heavy meal of toast, cereal, or fruit into your system at 6:30 or 7 a.m., you overload an unprimed digestive system and cause your blood sugar to skyrocket, leading to chronic insulin resistance and that heavy, exhausting midday brain fog. Let's look at the experience of Clara, an 81-year-old retired librarian living in Edinburgh, Scotland. Clara always believed that eating a massive breakfast at 7 a.m. sharp was the key to her health. Yet, by 9:30 a.m. every day, she would feel so incredibly exhausted and sluggish that she would have to lie down for a morning nap, missing her favorite community social hours. A metabolic specialist suggested she shift her breakfast timing to work with her hormones rather than against them. Clara decided to delay her breakfast until 8:30 a.m., allowing her morning cortisol surge to naturally decline and giving her stomach an extra hour to awaken. During that hour, she simply hydrated and did light, gentle movements around her house. The change was miraculous. Her blood sugar level stabilized, her morning energy soared, and that stubborn 9:30 a.m. fatigue vanished completely. By simply shifting when she broke her fast, Clara unlocked a steady, youthful vitality that lasted all day long. Crafting your safe, empowered morning ritual. Transforming your mornings isn't about radically changing your entire life or adopting a complicated, stressful health regimen. It is about treating the first hour of your day with the deep intelligence, respect, and care that your body has earned over a lifetime. Your morning should be a beautifully paced, gradual awakening, a slow, intentional celebration of a new day. When your eyes open tomorrow morning, remember these 4 gentle keys. First, sit on the edge of your bed for 2 minutes to let your blood pressure steady its ground. Second, reach for a pure, refreshing glass of water to thin your blood and wake up your organs before you touch your coffee or tea. Third, protect your vulnerable spine by keeping it tall and straight, avoiding any deep forward bends for the first hour. And finally, listen to your natural hunger and wait until after 8 a.m. to enjoy a nourishing breakfast, giving your metabolism the perfect window to thrive. By making these effortless protective adjustments, you aren't just preventing accidents. You are actively fueling your longevity, safeguarding your health, and ensuring that you remain strong, independent, and entirely free to enjoy every single moment of the years ahead. I would love to hear from you now. Do you recognize any of these morning habits in your own daily routine? Have you ever felt that sudden morning dizziness or that frustrating midday energy crash? Please take a gentle moment to leave a comment down below. Our community is a wonderfully warm, supportive space where we all share our wisdom and grow stronger together. If you found this guide deeply valuable and eye-opening, please give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel, and click that notification bell so you never miss an expert guide to a vibrant, independent life. Share this video with your close friends, your neighbors, and anyone you love who deserves to start their days with safety and strength. Thank you so much for your time today. Take beautiful care of your health and keep moving forward with confidence.